There are places on this map that belong to no nation. Places where the compass spins aimlessly, where the sun refuses to set for months at a time, and where the wind screams loud enough to tear the sanity right out of a man's skull. Antarctica, the bottom of the world. We are told it is a sanctuary for science, a barren continent of ice and penguins, protected by international treaties. They tell us there is nothing down there but frozen water and ancient rocks. But why then is it the most heavily guarded airspace on the planet? Why are there zones on the navigation charts marked as no-fly, enforced by military satellites? In 1947, Admiral Richard E. Byrd led Operation High Jump, a massive naval task force sent to Antarctica. He returned early with half his fleet damaged and a story he was forbidden to tell. He spoke of flying saucers that could travel from pole to pole at incredible speeds. He spoke of lands beyond the ice wall. The official records say he was hallucinating from the cold. But in 2024, a massive chunk of the Thwaites Glacier, the so-called Doomsday Glacier, collapsed into the ocean. Satellites picked up a thermal anomaly, not heat from a volcano, but a heat signature that was structured, geometric. Something had been revealed under the ice, something that had been buried for 100,000 years. Tonight, we are opening the classified file of Operation Zero Point. This is not a story about weather balloons or swamp gas. This is the transcript of the recovery team sent to secure Site Omega, a team of Tier 1 operators who dropped into the white void and found that the ice wasn't just hiding a building, it was hiding a prison, and the doors had just thawed open. I am Captain Nightwhisper. Put on your warmest coat, lock your windows, because the cold you are about to feel doesn't come from the weather. It comes from the realization that we are not the first civilization to call this planet home, and we might not be the last. Let's head south. The ramp of the C-17 Globemaster opens, and the world turns white. It's not just a color, it's a physical force. The wind hits the cargo bay like a sledgehammer, instantly freezing the moisture in your nostrils. The roar of the engines is drowned out by the howling of the Antarctic gale. I check my altimeter. 30,000 feet. We are doing a halo jump. High altitude, low opening, into the worst weather system on the planet. My name is Captain Elias Thorne. I lead Task Force Zero, a unit that doesn't exist on any Pentagon budget sheet. My men are sitting on the benches opposite me, looking like astronauts in their heated thermal combat suits. Full-face rebreathers, heads-up displays, exoskeleton leg braces to help march through deep snow. We are ghosts dropping into a graveyard. 2 minutes to drop, the jumpmaster screams over the comms, his voice fighting the wind. Target zone is hot. Visibility is near zero. Copy that, I say into my mask. Task force, sound off. Miller, check, says my sniper. Even through the mask, I can hear the grin in his voice. He loves the bad jumps. Rodriguez, check, says my heavy weapons specialist. He sounds tense. He hates the cold. Doc, check, says our medic, tightening his harness. Valkyrie, check, says Lieutenant Sarah Vance, our intelligence officer and tech specialist. She's the only one who knows what we are actually looking for. The mission briefing was vague. Loss of contact with forward operating base Alpha. Potential foreign interference. And we're secure the asset. The asset. They showed us blurry satellite photos. A black shape in the middle of a crater of white ice. It looked like a pyramid, but sharper, sleeker, like a blade of obsidian stabbing the sky. Green light, go, go, go! I throw myself off the ramp. The free fall is violent. The air is so cold it feels like falling through liquid nitrogen. My HUD flashes red warnings about wind shear. I stabilize my body, tracking the GPS beacon of the drop zone. Below me, the cloud cover is a churning ocean of gray and white. I punch through it at terminal velocity. And then, I see it. The clouds break for a second, and there it is. Site Omega. It's not a base, it's a ruin. The prefabricated research modules of Phobe Alpha are scattered like toys. Some are crushed, some are burned, and in the center of the devastation, rising from a massive fissure in the ice, is the pyramid. It's huge, at least 3 times the size of Giza, and it is pitch black. Not the black of rock, but a black that seems to absorb the light around it. It looks like a hole in reality. Shoots, pull, I order. My canopy deploys with a bone-jarring snap. I drift down toward the landing zone, a flat patch of ice about a click south of the ruins. We hit the ground hard. The snow is waist deep. I unclip my chute and raise my modified Mk-18 rifle. The lithium batteries in the optic are insulated, but the display is sluggish in the cold. Perimeter, I bark. My team fans out, weapons raised. The wind is screaming, whipping snow horizontally across our visors. Visibility is maybe 10 meters. 01, this is 02, Miller says over the comms. I've got movement. Contact? Negative, not hostile, just movement. The wind is moving something near the main habitat module. I trudge through the snow, my exoskeleton whining softly with each step. We approach the main module. The door has been ripped off its hinges, not unlatched, ripped. The steel frame is bent outward. Clear the room, I whisper. We stack up and enter. The interior is frozen solid. There is snow on the floor, covering overturned tables and smashed equipment. Where are the bodies? Doc asks, scanning the room with his thermal imager. Thermal is dead. No heat signatures anywhere. Maybe they evacuated, Rodriguez suggests. Look at the coffee mug, Valkyrie points to a desk. I look. A ceramic mug is frozen to the table. But it's not just frozen, it has been sliced in half, cleanly, as if by a laser or a monofilament wire. The table underneath it is sliced too. The cut goes straight down into the floor. No evacuation, I say, running a gloved finger over the cut. It's perfectly smooth. Whatever hit them happened fast. Then my headset crackles. It's not static. It's a signal, a rhythmic digital chirping sound. Source? I ask Valkyrie. She is tapping on her wrist computer. It's coming from the pyramid, Captain. But it's not a distress beacon. It's a countdown. A countdown to what? I don't know, she says, looking up at me. But it just hit 0. Boom! A shockwave hits us. Not an explosion, a pulse. Outside, the wind stops. Instantly, the howling gale vanishes, replaced by a terrifying, absolute silence. And then, the black surface of the pyramid begins to glow. Thin veins of blue light ignite across its surface, pulsing like a circuit board waking up. Captain, Miller says, his voice trembling. Look at the ice. I look out the broken door. The ice around the pyramid is steaming. It's melting, fast. And rising from the steam are shapes. They aren't soldiers. They aren't animals. They look like machines, but they move like spiders. Metallic, multi-limbed sentinels unfolding from the snow. Their blue optical sensors locking onto us. Ambush, I scream. Take cover. The first beam of blue energy slices through the habitat wall above my head, turning the reinforced steel into molten slag. We didn't drop into a rescue mission. We dropped into a war that started 1,000,000 years ago. Move! Get off the X! I dive behind a slab of overturned concrete just as a beam of blue light slices through the space where my head was a microsecond ago. The beam doesn't make a pew-pew sound like in the movies. It makes a noise like a zipper tearing open the fabric of reality. Zzzz, and the heat. My thermal sensors spike. The air around the beam instantly turns into plasma. Contact front, 3 tangos, 12 o'clock. Miller screams over the comms. I peek over the cover. The sentinels are moving fast. They don't have legs, not exactly. They float about a foot off the ground, propelled by some kind of anti-gravity ripples that distort the air beneath them. They are made of a matte black metal that shifts and rearranges itself like liquid mercury. They have 4 long, articulate limbs ending in glowing blue apertures. Lighting them up, Rodriguez roars. He steps out from behind the HAB module, spinning up the minigun. Bert! Thousands of rounds of 7.62 mm tungsten cord ammunition pour into the lead sentinel. It's enough firepower to shred an armored personnel carrier. But the rounds just stop. A few inches from the machine's hull, the bullets hit a shimmering geometric barrier, an energy shield. They spark and deflect harmlessly into the snow. Effect on target is 0, Rodriguez yells, panic creeping into his voice. They have shields. I repeat, they have shields. The sentinel turns its head, a single vertical slit of blue light, toward Rodriguez. Rod, move, I scream. Too late. The sentinel fires. A continuous lance of blue energy hits Rodriguez in the chest. It doesn't punch a hole. It vaporizes him. His heavy combat armor, his minigun, his body. In less than a second, he is just gone. Only a cloud of red mist and molten metal remains, freezing instantly in the Antarctic air. Man down, Doc screams, dragging Rodriguez's smoking boots, the only thing left of him, behind cover. We are outgunned. We are fighting 22nd century tech with 21st century lead. We can't fight them out here, Valkyrie shouts, firing her rifle uselessly at the advancing machines. The open ground is a kill box. We need cover that won't melt. I look at the habitat modules. They are cutting through them like butter. I look at the ice. It offers no protection. There is only one place to go. I look at the pyramid. The massive entrance gate is open, glowing with that pulsing blue rhythm. The gate, I order. We're pushing for the pyramid. Captain, that's their base, Miller argues, snapping off shots with his sniper rifle. We'll be walking right into the hive. It's made of that black stone, I yell back. If their weapons can cut it, the building wouldn't be standing. It's the only armor we have. Move, I'll cover. I pop a smoke grenade. Thick white phosphorus smoke billows out, mixing with the snow. It blocks the visual spectrum, but I doubt it confuses their sensors. Go! Go! We sprint across the open ice. It's 100 meters of hell. Beams of energy slash through the smoke around us. I hear the hiss of steam as the ice melts into boiling pools at my feet. Doc is running, carrying Valkyrie's heavy tech pack. Miller is providing covering fire, aiming for the eyes of the sentinels, hoping to blind them. I turn and fire a 40mm grenade from my underbarrel launcher. It hits the ground right in front of a sentinel. The explosion knocks it back, disrupting its shield for a split second. It wobbles, screeching a digital sound of annoyance. We reach the base of the pyramid. The entrance is massive, 50 feet high. We dive across the threshold, sliding on the smooth black floor. Miller, get inside. Miller slides in last, his cloak smoking from a near miss. Seal it! Valkyrie is at a control panel near the door. It's a flat obsidian surface with holographic glyphs floating above it. I don't know how, she screams. It's alien interface. Just smash it, Miller yells. No! Valkyrie's fingers fly across the light projections. It's mathematical. Base 6, sequence. She taps a pattern. A low subsonic boom shakes the floor. The massive slab of black stone above us begins to descend. Outside, the sentinels are rushing the door. One of them reaches a limb inside. Crunch. The door slams shut with the weight of a mountain. The sentinel's limb is severed cleanly, twitching on the floor, leaking blue fluid. Silence returns. Heavy, suffocating silence. We are alive, but we are sealed inside a tomb with no exit. The darkness inside isn't empty. It feels heavy, like the air is pressurized. I switch on my tactical light. The beam cuts through the gloom, revealing a hallway that stretches into infinity. The architecture is wrong. The walls are made of that same black, light-absorbing material, obsidian, or something like it. But the angles don't make sense. The ceiling seems too high, then too low. If you look at a corner directly, it looks like a 90-degree angle. But if you look at it from the corner of your eye, it looks curved. It makes me dizzy just trying to walk straight. Check your corners, I whisper, my voice echoing strangely. Doc, status? Rodriguez is KIA, Doc says, his voice flat. He is wiping ash off his armor. Valkyrie is shaken but operational. Miller is green. 3 of us left. And Valkyrie. What is this place, Val? I ask, shining my light on the walls. They are covered in carvings. Intricate geometric patterns that look like circuit boards etched into stone. Valkyrie walks up to the wall, scanning it with her wrist computer. It's not a building, Captain. It's a machine, a processor. Processing what? Energy, data, biology. She shudders. The carbon dating on the air samples. The dust in here is millions of years old. This place was here before the ice sheet formed, before the first human learned to make fire. Will someone turn the lights on, Miller mutters, kicking the severed sentinel limb on the floor. And they have security dogs. We move deeper. The hallway opens up into a massive chamber. It looks like a cathedral with pillars rising up into the darkness. In the center of the room, there is a raised platform. And on the platform, there is a pile of equipment. That's Phobie Alpha's gear, Doc says, moving forward. That's their generator. Their crates. We approach cautiously. The equipment is there. Crates of rations, scientific instruments, sleeping bags. But there are no people. Where are they? I ask. There was no sign of them outside. They must be in here. Captain, Miller says, his voice tight. Up there. He points his rifle light toward the ceiling, or what passes for a ceiling in this place. Suspended from the darkness, 20 feet above the platform, are pods. Translucent, amber-colored sacks hanging from thick black cables. And inside the sacks are the researchers. I zoom in with my optic. They are floating in some kind of fluid. They are naked, Tubes are inserted into their mouths, their noses, their chests. Are they alive? Doc asks, horrified. I watch closely. One of the researchers, a woman with red hair, twitches. Her eyes are open, staring blankly through the amber goop. But her eyes, they are glowing blue, just like the sentinels. They're being harvested, Valkyrie whispers, or reprogrammed. Suddenly, the floor beneath us vibrates. The blue veins in the walls pulse brighter. The severed sentinel limb we left at the entrance, it starts to beep, a high-pitched, frantic chirping. It's a tracker, I realize. Move, get away from it. We scramble back just as the limb explodes. It's not a large explosion, but it releases a cloud of silver dust. Nanobots. The dust swirls in the air, forming a shape. It scans us. A holographic eye forms in the mist, looking directly at me. Then a voice booms through the chamber. It's not a human voice. It sounds like grinding stones and digital static synthesized into speech. Unauthorized. Genetic sequence. Detected. The walls begin to shift. The pillars start to rotate. The architecture itself is moving, closing off exits, creating new paths. It knows we're here, Miller says, racking the bolt of his rifle, and it's reconfiguring the maze. The countdown, Valkyrie says, looking at her wrist, the signal that started this, it wasn't a defense protocol. What was it? It was a wake-up call, she says, pale as a ghost. Captain, the energy readings coming from the core of this pyramid, they are spiking. This thing isn't just a base, it's a transmitter, and it's trying to call something down from the sky. We need to stop it, I say. If this thing broadcasts to whatever built it, the sentinels outside will be the least of our problems. How? Doc asks. We don't even know where the core is. We follow the cables. I point to the black tubes feeding the pods above us. They are sucking the life out of those people to power something. We follow the tubes, we find the battery, and we blow it up. We start to run deeper into the shifting labyrinth as the amber pods above us begin to open, dropping the processed researchers onto the floor. They land on their feet. They don't look human anymore. They look upgraded, and they are hungry. We are running through a nightmare designed by M.C. Escher. The corridors don't just turn left or right, they twist. Sometimes the gravity shifts, and the wall becomes the floor. My inner ear is screaming, vertigo washing over me in waves, but we can't stop. Behind us, the sound of wet, slapping footsteps echoes on the obsidian. The researchers from FOB Alpha aren't dead, but they aren't human anymore either. When they dropped from the pods, I saw what the machine had done to them. Their skin was pale, translucent blue. Metal cables were woven into their flesh like veins. And their hands? Their fingers had been fused together into sharp, bone-like blades. Contact rear, Miller shouts, spinning around and firing a burst. Pop, pop, pop. The bullets hit the leading creature, a man who used to be Dr. Aronson, the chief geologist. He doesn't flinch. He is running on all fours, scuttling across the ceiling like a gecko. The rounds punch into his shoulder, leaking blue fluid, but he keeps coming. They're fast, Miller yells, reloading on the move. And they don't feel pain. Aim for the implants, Valkyrie screams. The metal nodes on their spines. That's the control unit. I stop, raise my rifle, and take a breath. The world slows down. I track the creature on the ceiling. I see the silver node at the base of its neck, pulsing with light. Squeeze. The shot is clean. The node shatters. Dr. Aronson's body instantly goes limp. He falls from the ceiling, hitting the floor with a sickening crunch. He doesn't move again. Headshots don't work, I pant. Savor the connection. We keep moving. The hallway opens into a massive vertical shaft. It looks like the inside of a computer tower. Mile-high walls covered in blinking lights and massive cooling pipes. A narrow bridge spans the abyss, leading to a central spire. The core, Valkyrie says, checking her scanner. The signal is coming from that spire. It's pulling power from the geothermal vents below the ice. We cross the bridge, I order. We plant the charges on the spire. We blow it. We leave. Simple, Doc says dryly, except for the army of cyborgs behind us. We step onto the bridge. It's made of glass or transparent aluminum. Looking down, I see a drop that goes on forever. At the bottom, miles below, is a glowing blue ocean of energy. Liquid plasma. Don't look down, I mutter. We are halfway across when the bridge starts to hum. Captain, Miller stops. Do you feel that? Vibration, not from the bridge, from the air. A shape rises from the abyss. It's huge, a drone, but not like the spiders outside. This one is sleek, aerodynamic, shaped like a manta ray. It hovers silently in front of us, blocking the path. Its eyes scan us. A beam of red light sweeps over my team. Analysis complete, the digital voice booms from the drone. Specimen, human. Threat level, minimal. Fate, assimilation. The drone's wings open, revealing rows of small, sharp projectiles, not guns, needles. Cover! I scream. We dive flat on the transparent bridge just as the drone fires. A hail of flechettes pings off the surface around us. It's trying to capture us, Doc yells. Those are tranquilizers or nanobot injectors. Miller, the engines, I shout. Hit the thrusters. Miller rolls onto his back, raising his sniper rifle. Say goodnight, you flying toaster. He fires a single, high-explosive, armor-piercing round. It hits the glowing intake vent on the drone's left wing. Boom, the engine explodes. The drone spins wildly, smoke pouring from its side. It crashes into the wall of the shaft, sliding down into the blue abyss, screeching all the way. Nice shot, I say, getting up. I aim to please, Miller grins, though he is sweating. We sprint the rest of the way to the central spire. We reach the door. It's sealed. Valkyrie, get it open. She connects her wrist computer to the panel. I'm trying. The encryption is changing every second. It's learning. Behind us at the start of the bridge, the horde of processed researchers appears. Dozens of them. They see us. They shriek, a digital glitchy scream. They start running across the bridge. Hold the line, I order. Doc, Miller, with me. Valkyrie, you have 30 seconds before we are overrun. We form a firing line, 3 rifles against a wave of blue-skinned monsters. Let 'em come, Miller whispers. Let 'em come. The bridge is a slaughterhouse. The processed charge us in waves, mindless and relentless. We are firing in controlled bursts, picking off their spinal nodes. Blue fluid sprays across the glass floor, making it slick. Reloading, Doc screams. One of the creatures leaps over the pile of bodies. It lands right in front of Doc. It's a young man, maybe 20. His jaw has been removed, replaced by a metal speaker grill. He grabs Doc's rifle barrel. He is inhumanly strong. He yanks the weapon aside and raises a fist that has been modified into a bone spike. I turn and fire my sidearm, 3 shots to the chest. It pushes him back, but doesn't stop him. Val, the door, I scream, pistol whipping the creature off Doc. Got it. With a hiss of depressurization, the massive door to the spire slides open. Fall back, inside, now! We scramble through the doorway, dragging Doc. Miller fires one last grenade onto the bridge, collapsing a section of the glass floor. The leading edge of the horde falls screaming into the abyss. It won't stop them forever, but it buys us time. I hit the seal button. The door slams shut, cutting off the shrieks. We are inside. The core room. It is breathtaking and terrifying. The room is spherical. The walls are lined with millions of glowing crystals. In the center, floating in midair, is the core. It's a sphere of pure, swirling blue energy, about 10 feet wide. It pulses like a heart, and surrounding it are rings of black metal, spinning in a complex gyroscope pattern. That's infinite energy, Valkyrie whispers, staring at it. 0-point energy, vacuum energy. It's pulling power from the fabric of space-time itself. Can we blow it up? Miller asks, checking his satchel charges. If you blow that up, Valkyrie says, you won't just destroy the pyramid. You'll crack the continental shelf. You'll sink Antarctica. Great, I say. So how do we turn it off? We don't, Valkyrie says, walking toward a console ring surrounding the core. We redirect it. We overload the transmitter array so it burns itself out. She starts typing on the holographic interface. The alien symbols fly across the screen. Wait, she freezes. What is it? This data stream, she says, reading the glyphs. It's not sending a signal out. It's receiving. Receiving from where? From below, she says slowly. From under the ice. She pulls up a holographic map. It shows the Earth. It shows the pyramid at the South Pole. But then it shows other points of light appearing all over the globe. It's waking up the others, she whispers. There are more in the Gobi Desert, in the Amazon, under the Atlantic. It's a network, I realize. A planetary defense grid. Or a planetary control grid, Miller suggests. Suddenly the room turns red. The blue light of the core shifts to an angry crimson red. The spinning rings stop. A hologram appears in the center of the room, projected from the core. It's a face, a giant, 3-dimensional face. It looks human, but perfect. Too perfect. Like a Greek statue made of light, its eyes are closed. Primary interface engaged. The voice fills our heads. It's telepathic. Species, Homo sapiens. Designation, failed experiment. The eyes open. They are black voids. Assessment, the infestation has spread beyond containment parameters. Initiation of sterilization protocol recommended. It's talking about us, Doc says, backing away. We are the infestation. Sterilization protocol, I ask Val. The hologram smiles, a cruel, cold smile. Activation of atmospheric scrubbers, resetting planetary biosphere to 0. The pyramid rumbles. Outside, the beam of light shooting into the sky turns red. It's going to vent the atmosphere, Valkyrie screams. It's going to suck the oxygen out of the air to kill us all. It's a terraforming machine. Miller, I shout. Forget the continental shelf. Plant the charges. We are killing this thing right now. Miller runs to the spinning rings. He slaps C4 bricks onto the pylons. 2 minutes to detonation, he yells. The hologram turns its head toward Miller. Intervention detected. Deploying Guardians. The floor of the core room opens up. 4 pods rise. They open with a hiss. Stepping out are 4 figures. They are tall, clad in gold and black armor. They hold spears that crackle with red electricity. They aren't robots. They are the builders, the ancients, kept in stasis for this exact moment, and they look pissed. They are magnificent and terrifying. The 4 Guardians step out of their stasis pods. They are 8 feet tall, clad in armor made of an iridescent metal that shifts from gold to black like oil on water. Their helmets have no visors, just smooth, faceless masks modeled into expressions of serene rage. They hold spears made of crystalline gold, humming with crackling red energy. Miller, how long on those charges? I scream, bringing my rifle up. 90 seconds, Miller yells, slapping the last block of C4 onto the core's support pylon. Timer is set. We need to clear the blast radius. We aren't clearing anything until we deal with these guys. The leading Guardian steps forward. It doesn't walk, it glides. It raises its spear and points it at Valkyrie, who is still frantically typing at the console. Val, move! I fire a burst of 5.56 mm. The rounds hit the Guardian's chest plate. Ping, ping, ping. They deflect harmlessly, leaving small glowing dents that instantly heal. The Guardian doesn't even slow down. It fires a bolt of red lightning from the tip of its spear. The bolt hits Valkyrie's console. The holographic display explodes in a shower of sparks and light. Valkyrie is thrown backward, slamming into the wall. She hits the ground and doesn't move. Valkyrie! Doc sprints toward her, dropping his rifle to pull out a medkit. Doc, stay down, I yell. Too late. The second Guardian is already on him. It moves faster than anything that big has a right to move. It grabs Doc by the throat with one armored hand, lifting him off the ground like a rag doll. Let him go, I roar, switching to my underbarrel grenade launcher. I fire a 40mm HE round point blank at the Guardian's face. Boom, the explosion staggers it. The gold mask cracks, revealing a glimpse of something pale and gray underneath. It drops Doc, who falls to the floor, gasping for air. It bleeds, Miller yells. It can be killed. Concentrate fire on the leader, I order. Miller and I unleash everything we have on the first Guardian. Hundreds of rounds. It starts to slow down. Pieces of its armor chip away. It raises its spear again, aiming at Miller. Miller, roll! Miller dives to the side just as the red lightning strikes the C4 charges he just planted. Fevzei up, the detonators fry, the timer stop. The charges, Miller screams, scrambling up. They fried the detonators. We have to trigger them manually. How? A secondary fuse. I have to physically connect the wires. Do it, I yell, stepping in front of him to provide cover. I'll buy you time. There are 3 active Guardians left, and the one I damaged is standing back up, its armor repairing itself, the crack in its mask sealing shut. Captain, Doc says, his voice weak over the comms. Valkyrie, she's waking up. I look over. Valkyrie is sitting up, holding her head. She looks at the giant holographic face floating above the core. The transmission, she whispers. It's not just sending a signal, it's uploading. Uploading what? A consciousness, a blueprint. It's uploading the sterilization protocol to the other pyramids. Can you stop it? No, she shakes her head. The console is fried, but... She looks at the core itself, that swirling ball of red energy. But what? If we can't blow it up, maybe we can overload it. She stands up, swaying slightly. Val, what are you doing? She ignores me. She starts walking toward the core. walking past the Guardians. The Guardians turn to look at her. They sense the threat. They raise their spears. "Cover her!" I scream. Miller and I open up, pouring fire onto the Guardians, trying to draw their attention. Valkyrie reaches the edge of the platform. She is inches from the raw energy of the core. The heat is intense. Her armor is starting to smoke. She looks back at me. There is no fear in her eyes, only acceptance. "See you on the other side, Captain," she whispers. She takes off her glove, and she plunges her bare hand directly into the swirling red plasma. Valkyrie screams. It is a sound that will haunt me until the day I die. As her hand touches the core, her body stiffens. Arcs of red lightning jump from the plasma sphere onto her arm, traveling up her body. Her armor begins to glow. The holographic face above us flickers. The eyes snap open in surprise. Anomaly detected. Biological interface. Critical error. The room starts to shake violently. The gravity stabilizers fail. Debris begins to float. Valkyrie is acting as a living conduit. She is feeding her own bioelectric energy, her life force, into the machine. It's like throwing a wrench into a jet engine. The core changes color, from red to blinding white. The Guardians scream, a digital screech of agony. The feedback from the core overload is hitting them through their armor. They drop to their knees, clutching their heads. "It's working!" Doc yells, dragging himself upright. "Miller, the charges!" I shout over the roar of the energy storm. "Now's your chance. Blow this thing to hell." Miller sprints to the pylons. He grabs the fried wires of the C4, twisting them together with his bare hands. 30 seconds to detonation, he screams, activating the manual fuse. "Everyone, the door! Get to the door!" We run. Doc supports me. My leg took shrapnel during the grenade blast. We reach the door we came in. I hit the open switch. Nothing. The power is down. "It's sealed," I yell, pounding on the obsidian. "Blow it," Doc says. "Use your last grenade." I load the grenade. "Fire in the hole." Boom! The door blows inward. We scramble through the smoke, back onto the glass bridge. I look back one last time. Valkyrie is still standing there, her hand in the core. Her body is almost translucent now, glowing with raw power. She isn't screaming anymore. She is looking up at the holographic face, defiant to the end. The core is expanding. It's unstable. The Guardians are trying to stand up, trying to reach her, but the energy discharge is pushing them back. "Goodbye, Sarah," I whisper. "Captain, move." Miller grabs my vest and drags me across the bridge. We sprint back through the shaft, past the dead drone, back into the twisting hallways. The pyramid is coming apart around us. Walls are shifting wildly. Floors are dropping away into darkness. "Which way?" Doc yells. "Up," I shout. "We need to get to the entrance hall, the main gate." We run for our lives. Behind us, deep in the heart of the pyramid, there is a blinding flash of white light. The shockwave hits us a second later. It knocks us off our feet. The sound is deafening, the sound of a star being born and dying in the same second. The pyramid tilts. The ground beneath the ice is shifting. The explosion has cracked the bedrock. We scramble to our feet and keep running. We reach the main cathedral-like chamber where we found the pods. The pods are all empty now. The amber fluid is draining onto the floor. The ceiling of the chamber begins to crack. Giant slabs of black stone rain down. "There!" Miller points. "The exit corridor!" We dive into the hallway just as the ceiling of the cathedral collapses behind us, burying the room in tons of rock. We see light ahead, the blue glow of the entrance gate. It's still closed. "It's still sealed," Doc cries. We skid to a halt in front of the massive slab. "The panel!" I rush to the interface Val used earlier. It's dead. Dark. "We're trapped." Doc sinks to the floor. We blew the core and we trapped ourselves inside the bomb. The rumbling gets louder. The floor beneath us is cracking. The entire structure is sinking back into the earth. And then, the interface panel glows. Not blue, not red, white. It flickers to life. A single glyph appears on the screen. It's not complex like the others. It looks simple, almost human. The massive door begins to grind open. "How?" Miller asks, staring at the opening door. "Valkyrie," I whisper. "She's in the system. She opened the door." We don't hesitate. We sprint out of the pyramid onto the ice. The cold air hits us like a physical blow. It feels wonderful. It feels like life. Behind us, the pyramid is sinking. The ice around it is fracturing, giant geysers of steam and water erupting into the air. The black structure is swallowed whole by the continent, returning to the frozen tomb it came from. We run until our legs give out. We collapse in the snow, watching the last tip of the black obsidian disappear under the white surface. The wind picks up again. The silence is broken. We made it, 3 of us. The pyramid is gone. The ice has reclaimed it. Where the massive black structure once stood, there is now only a jagged scar in the glacier, quickly filling with drifting snow. The steam from the vents has turned into a thick, freezing fog that clings to the ground. "Check in," I wheeze. My voice sounds like sandpaper. The adrenaline crash is hitting me hard. My hands are shaking uncontrollably, not just from the cold, but from the shock. "Miller, Green," Miller coughs. He is lying on his back in the snow, staring up at the gray sky. His armor is scorched black from the plasma burns. "Doc," Yellow, Doc says, kneeling beside Miller. "My rebreather is cracked. I'm losing heat." "We need to move," I say, forcing myself to stand. My exoskeleton servos whine in protest. "If we stay here, the cold will finish what the machine has started. We need to get to the extraction point." "Extraction?" Miller laughs bitterly. "Captain, look at the sky. Look at the weather." I look up. The horizon has vanished. The sky and the ground have merged into a single, blinding wall of white. A whiteout. The worst kind of Antarctic storm. Winds clocking 100 miles an hour are spinning up. "Comms are dead," Doc says, tapping his helmet. "The EMP from the core explosion fried the long-range radio. We can't call the bird." "We have a fallback LZ," I say, pointing my compass north. 2 clicks. There's an emergency beacon there. If we trigger it, the C-130 will see us on thermal. 2 clicks in this storm is a death march, Miller says, sitting up. "Staying here is suicide." I pull him to his feet. "Move." We walk into the white void. There is no sense of direction, no up, no down, just the screaming wind and the crunch of snow under our boots. Every step is a battle. The cold finds every gap in our armor. It feels like needles being driven into my skin. After an hour, hallucinations start. This is common in whiteouts. The polar madness. I see shapes in the storm. I see Valkyrie walking beside us. She isn't wearing her helmet. Her face is pale, her eyes glowing blue. She is whispering coordinates to me. "Captain," Doc grabs my shoulder. "Stop." "Why?" "Look." He points at the snow ahead. "We have stumbled upon something. It's a camp, not FOOB Alpha, a makeshift camp, a tent made of torn parachutes and debris." "Who?" Miller raises his rifle. We approach the tent. Inside, huddled together, are 3 bodies. They are frozen solid. They are wearing U.S. military parkas. "These aren't from our unit," Doc says, examining the patches. "These are 1947 issue, Navy. Operation High Jump," I realize. "Bird's men, the ones who got lost." They didn't get lost. They were hiding. Doc shines his light on the frozen sailor in the middle. He is holding a journal. His face is twisted in a scream. But it's not fear, it's agony. His skin, it's covered in black veins. The same black veins we saw on the processed researchers. "They were infected," Doc whispers. 70 years ago, they escaped the pyramid, but they brought something with them. "Don't touch them," I order. "Back away." But Miller is staring at the sailor's face. "Captain, look at his eyes." The frozen corpse's eyes are open. And even after 70 years in the ice, they are still faintly glowing blue. "He's not dead." Miller whispers, "He's dormant." Crack, the corpse's jaw snaps open. A cloud of black spores puffs out into the tent. "Masks!" I scream. "Seal your masks!" We stumble back into the storm, hearts hammering. The past is buried here, but in Antarctica, nothing ever truly dies. It just waits for a thaw. We made it to the beacon. It's a simple orange box bolted to a rock outcrop, half buried in snow. I punch the activation code with numb fingers. Now we wait. The storm is breaking. The winds are dying down, revealing a sky that is a bruised purple color. The sun is trying to peek through the clouds, a pale, heatless disk. "You hear that?" Miller asks. He is sitting on a rock, shivering violently. Thump, 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 the sound of rotors. "Visual," Duke points. 2 black V-22 Osprey tilt rotors are cutting through the clouds. They don't have markings, no U.S. flags, no unit numbers, just matte black paint. "That's not the rescue team," I say, tightening my grip on my rifle. That's the cleanup crew. The ospreys flare and land on the ice, kicking up a storm of snow. The ramps lower. Men pour out. But they aren't pararescue jumpers. They are wearing full-body biohazard suits, level 4 containment gear, yellow suits, thick glass faceplates. They are carrying flamethrowers and containment canisters. "Drop your weapons," a voice booms over a loudspeaker. "Get on your knees, hands on your heads." "We are Task Force Zero," I yell, stepping forward. "We are friendly. We have wounded." I said, "Drop your weapons," the voice commands. "Do it now or we open fire." Miller looks at me. "Captain?" "Do it," I say. "We can't fight them, not now." We drop our rifles in the snow. The biohazard team rushes us. They don't help us up. They tackle us. They zip tie our hands behind our backs. They jam needles into our necks, sedatives. "What is this?" Doc screams as they drag him toward the aircraft. "We just saved the damn world." A man in a black suit steps off the lead osprey. He isn't wearing a biohazard suit, just a heavy coat and an oxygen mask. He walks up to me. "You didn't save anything, Captain," the man says. His voice is cold, bureaucratic. "You destroyed $1 trillion asset." "It was a weapon," I slur, the sedative making my head swim. "It was going to kill everyone." "It was a terraforming engine," the man corrects me. "It was the key to infinite energy, to immortality, and you blew it up." "It killed my team," I spit at him. "It killed Valkyrie." "Acceptable losses," the man says. He looks at Miller. Miller is on his knees coughing. He's coughing up black fluid. "Secure that one," the man points to Miller. "He's showing symptoms. Isolate him in Pod 1. The other two, process them for debriefing." "Miller!" I scream, struggling against the restraints. They drag Miller away. He looks at me, his eyes wide, terrified. And for a split second, I see it. The veins in Miller's neck. They aren't blue, they are black. And they are moving. "Captain!" Miller screams as they shove him into a containment box. "Captain, I can hear it. I can still hear the signal." They throw a bag over my head. The world goes black. I feel the osprey lift off. I feel the G-force. We are leaving Antarctica, but we aren't going home. I don't know what day it is. There are no windows in this cell. The lights are always on. A low hum like a ventilation fan is the only sound. They have interrogated me for weeks. They ask about the pyramid. They ask about the sentinels. They ask about the core, but mostly they ask about Valkyrie. Did she touch the core, they ask. Did she interface with it? I tell them the truth. I tell them she sacrificed herself to stop the signal. They just take notes. They don't look relieved. They look disappointed. Yesterday, Doc was in the cell next to mine. We could talk through the vent. He told me he examined himself. He said his blood counts in wrong. He said his white blood cells are changing. They are becoming metallic. "It's in the air, Elias," Doc whispered last night. "The spores. We breathed them in before we sealed our masks. Or maybe it passed through the suits. We are all infected." "What does it do?" I asked him. "It rewrites you," he said. "It prepares you for them." This morning, Doc stopped answering. I heard a struggle. I heard men in suits. Then silence. An hour ago, the man in the black suit came to my cell door. "Where is Miller?" I asked him. "Sergeant Miller is no longer with us," the man said smoothly. "He has been promoted." "Promoted?" The man smiled. He pulled out a tablet and showed me a video feed. It was a room, a containment chamber. Inside, something was standing in the center. It looked like a sentinel, the same black liquid metal armor, the same glowing blue eyes, but the shape was human. It was Miller. He, or it, was standing perfectly still. His human arm had been replaced by a crystalline spear. His face was a mask of cold, serene rage. "We recovered the genetic data from the pyramid's backup servers," the man said. "The sterilization protocol wasn't just about killing us, Captain. It was about upgrading us. The ancients didn't want to destroy humanity. They wanted to harvest us, to turn us into soldiers for their war." He turned off the tablet. "Thanks to you, we lost the factory, but thanks to Sergeant Miller, we have the prototype." "You're insane," I whispered. "You can't control it." "We don't need to control it," he said, turning to leave. "We just need to point it at our enemies." He paused at the door. "Oh, and Captain, don't worry about dying here. You are far too valuable. The transformation takes time, but you'll join your squad soon." The door slammed shut. The lock clicked. I sat on the cot. I looked at my hand. Under the skin of my wrist, a faint blue line was pulsing. Thump, 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 thump. It matched the rhythm of the countdown. I am not a prisoner. I am a cocoon. And Operation Zero Point is just beginning. The official report states that Task Force Zero was lost in a training accident due to unexpected severe weather conditions. Their families were given folded flags and closed caskets. The seismic anomaly in Antarctica was explained away as a glacial calving event. The world went back to scrolling, watching cat videos and arguing about politics. But keep your eyes on the news. Watch for the reports of new technology being unveiled by the defense sector. Advanced robotics, energy shields, infinite batteries. They call it innovation. We know it's salvage. And watch the ice. Climate change is real, but maybe the rising temperatures aren't just from carbon emissions. Maybe something is generating heat from below. Maybe the other pyramids, the ones Valkyrie saw on the map, are waking up. The Amazon, the Gobi, the Atlantic floor. They are defrosting. Captain Thorne is still out there, somewhere in a black site, listening to the blue veins spread under his skin, waiting for the day the signal comes back online. When it does, we won't be fighting aliens from the stars. We will be fighting the things we dug up from our own basement. I am Captain Nightwhisper. The cold is coming, and this time, a coat won't save you. Good night.